Holy crap! Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and as promised in the last video, I went through this entire map, and I did all of the side objectives. The only thing that's left is some quest-related, well, just quests. It's only quests. There's, I think, three or four locations left to explore, but they are quest-related. And I sort of did everything that I felt like no one would really particularly enjoy or need to see me do. Like, for example, I went through and I collected all of this special gear that I was supposed to have, like the gear of my, here it is, the Kassandra helmet. Like, I've got the whole outfit. We're never going to wear it. It's very warrior-focused, and I'm not a warrior player, warrior-focused class, or anything of that nature. Quests, I've picked up a lot of quests along the way. You know how they'll just kind of pop up as you're running along, and I'm looking forward to that. Currently, we're over here by this Inside of Blessing, and it appears that on this very outside ring, there's 3 of these in total, and they're part of a quest, which we're going to do today. But my gosh, the wealth of information I have learned about the Isu as I have explored this map and just read little bits and pieces of things around here. I found out more about, you might remember in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they found that shawl that could regenerate your cells. Reading up about that, about the Isu who created it and why. And still waiting on that to be used to bring Desmond Miles back to life. Still waiting on that very patiently. It should definitely happen soon, hopefully, because Desmond, hashtag justice for Desmond. He deserves to come back and not die, sacrificing himself in one of the worst games in the franchise. I found out about Eve and about how she is the descendant of a Isu who fell in love with a human. The humans were created by the Isu in their own image. I guess it decanonizes the Bible in all religious works, really, in this series. But we knew that previously, from the very first game. They were basically like, yeah, every miracle that's ever been performed has been done with an apple of Eden. So that's not really a shock or surprise. The shock for me, maybe this was explored earlier, was that humans were created by the Isu. I just assumed they existed on the planet sort of at the same time, and the humans were like, sort of like a lower tier Isu, but no, they were created by the Isu. That's madness. It's been very interesting to really delve into the lore, but you know what hasn't been explained to me? What the heck is going on? Are we in the past? Are we doing a simulation? Is this like an emulated version of historical events? Did any of these places and people actually exist? They must have. If the Isu created the humans, is Atlantis on Earth? Is the underworld on Earth? Are these actual realms? Are these on other planets? Are they in pocket dimensions? So many questions that have yet to be answered. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there that I can look up that will give me all the answers that I seek. But until that moment, today we're going to head in here and we're going to do these insights. And hopefully we're going to learn a bit of information. I got to Knowledge Sequence 2. You advance these knowledge sequences just by reading big old information walls, basically walls of texts, and also finding these little insight things. You hold your spear up to it, it goes, you know, and you get some stuff for it. You become slightly more intelligent, I guess. I don't know. I've got 17 ability points from those things, and we're gonna actually. I wasn't gonna use them all yet, but I'm actually going here, and we're gonna do assassin damage. I wasn't joking. We're gonna max out assassin damage, get that as high as it'll go, because I love me some assassin damage, and we're still gonna have 8 points after that. I'm not gonna use them immediately though, because I don't know what to use them on. I'll tell you what. Adrenaline on assassination kills has been useful, because where I'm at right now with that plus 12%, anytime I do an assassination kill, I get about 3 full segments of adrenaline. So actually, let's bump that up twice. Let's get that up to 20%, and we'll save the rest of them for later. I kind of know where I might want to implement them. Hint, hint. But for right now, we'll leave that as it is. It's good to get adrenaline, though. Alright, I don't really know what to expect in here. I'm hoping I can enter, because normally these gateways here mean you have to have a certain level of insight, but I guess we've got enough. We're up to Tier 2. I think Tier 3 is the max. And I gotta say, in order to get to Tier 2, where I'm at right now, if we go over to the inventory, or I guess it's under abilities, isn't it? If we go over there, and we look, I guess it's under map, isn't it? Where I'm at here, that's literally doing everything that I could within these 3 rings, excluding quests. So every location objective and every incitable thing inside of them was completed. So I'm hoping we'll get to 3 with these 3 locations, and if we don't, I don't know what to do. Also, What is this? Amid fire, Atlantis was home to a unique metal known as adamant. Oh yeah, I found some adamant as I've been running around. It's not a unique, I mean, you can find it all over the place. Addy? You ever get an Addy kite shield in RuneScape? Come on, let's not be crazy. Craft a legendary weapon at the Forge of Atlantis. We're gonna go do that one. That's next. That's next up at the agenda. Legendary weapon sounds awesome. Let's pull back outside here so we can get our bird out and scout the inside of this place before we just rush in. What do you mean my bird is not available? Icaros! There you are. What is awaiting me inside of this place? Okay. A guard and a chest is apparently all that is inside of here. That's good to know. What the Shrek? Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. No, wait. No. Alright, well, let's head in and we'll go over to the guard and the chest. That's apparently all there is. I've got a feeling that there might be a little bit more than that. Maybe we're being a bit misled here. We'll find out. According to this, well, actually, if you look at that, it says that, yeah, there's an ISU data cache. That's one of those things I think that's... Actually, no, the Keeper's Insight. That's what you hold the spear up to. The data cache just says, Kassandra's like, oh, I feel so much more intelligent and in touch with my spear. You'll see. You'll see. I've done this a few times at this point. But looking at location objectives, I guess that chest is the adamant ingot. So we've got a few of those now. There's at least a captain. There might just be this one guy in here, but maybe he's super baller, and that's why he's the only one here. Like, this guy is the guy. I've read a lot about experiments the ISU were doing on humans, so after making them, they were experimenting on them as well. And Poseidon decided that that was a no-go, and so he banned experimentation on humans in his realm, which is pretty nice of him, because he said he felt like it was a bit inherently cruel, and he's not wrong. Please kill him. Thank gosh, I wasn't sure how that was going to go. Oh, that was the captain! Oh, so everything from here is just a cakewalk. I shouldn't say that, because we don't know. Do you reckon it's bad to loot before everyone is dead? Isn't that like an old no-no in World of Warcraft? I almost said War of Runecraft, and that is not a game that exists, but dadgummit would I play it. I've never played World of Warcraft. I listened to the Yogpod, and, you know, they started that podcast back when they were still primarily a World of Warcraft YouTube channel, back before they started playing Minecraft and took off big. You know, back in the golden age of YouTube gaming. And, you know, because I listened to the entire podcast from back in that era, you know, they were always dropping little tips and tidbits about how to be a better Warcraft player. Not really, because I don't think they were that good. Apparently they were like the best guild, or the number 3 guild or something like that, but that's all the other people that were in the guild. Surely it wasn't Simon and Lewis contributing to that. No, apparently they were quite good. They were goons. They were nerds. I don't know. I've never played the game. Who am I to judge? But yeah, that's one of those tidbits I took out of that I'll just never forget. Make sure everything's dead before you start looting. And I've broken the rule around here, and so far we've gotten away with it. We haven't been killed by anything. No one seems to have even noticed we're here. I mean, we had one guard kind of realize it. Look at this guy. Oh, okay. Well, he did figure it out right there at the end. Oh, I kind of feel bad for him. We should have killed him before he realized it, because he had that spike of adrenaline and terror right at the moment he died. That's pretty sad. This is one of those walls where you get information from. So this is an ISU codex, and you'll notice it doesn't come up on here. It's not required, but you do get a little bit of knowledge for it. See down there? Knowledge sequence 2. And this is where you get like the cool information. So after presenting the Solar Dynamics Observatory predictions on plasma release at the summit of the 3 sister realms, Persephone's high scientist and engineer stormed off. Tension between the sister realms is high, but of all Persephone's retinue, surely Hermes would listen to reason. Our delegation was left appealing to Hades himself. The Mad King seemed almost pleased with the thought of annihilation, so we're left with one king lusting for carnage, a queen who accepts no truth but her own, and the Trident King who locks himself away in his tower. It would seem solar instability is the least of our worries. Well, no, it's gonna annihilate your civilization, so sorry, pal. This is gonna... It's not gonna be good for y'all. But yeah, you can get all these kind of insights like that into the history of what was going on before the solar stuff, when they realized the solar stuff. It's really fascinating. If you're into the lore of this game, you have this game, you should definitely get this DLC and just experience it, because it's really interesting facts, and heaven knows I'm not going to remember it all and present it to you. Some of it I myself just don't understand. But we've still got to find the Keeper's Insights, and we've got to find that bit of adamantium. Now we know there's at least one more guard in here. I see him up there, and ahead of us, so there's two more. This looks like where we need to go. This place is very severely underprotected. Like, I thought there would be more around here. Because these were all sort of quest-related things, I figured we'd better explore them together, as opposed to off-camera, because there's a quest for this. But I didn't realize we'd be getting through it so quickly. So that should unlock a new ability modification. Blessing of Kronos. The ability enhancement is now available in the abilities menu. Let's go ahead and check that one out. The Blessing of Kronos. So that'll be under abilities. And what will that do? Kronos. I gotta figure out which one it is relating to. Oh, also, I was taking a look at this here. Check this out. Rain down a burst of arrows in a 3-meter radius around you, dealing 450 hunter damage. Enemies inside the area are stunned for 3 seconds and take crit damage from melee attacks and abilities. And you can use special arrows. So compare that to the normal ability, which is just rain down a volley of arrows on 5 meters. We've never used that ability before. We're going to go ahead and equip this one. We're going to put it on 1 because I believe that's the spam of 1 billion arrows or something like that we've never used before. And also we're going to enhance it. So we're going to use the enhanced version. And I'm looking forward to trying that if we ever get in this situation. We're in, we're in a tight spot and we get to finally use that. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I've been trying to be a stealthy, sneaky assassin. I've been doing my best. And you might have noticed I killed a statue earlier, an inanimate statue, which in the past I would never dream of doing. But I found that we can, with our assassin gear on and our assassin damage so ridiculously high, we can pretty easily assassinate them without ever really giving them a chance to fight back. So let me demonstrate here for you. Come up behind them, hold down F, boom, and you get some pretty sick stuff for that. So that one didn't drop any money, but normally they drop about 3 grand, which is crazy, and is going to contribute to us fully upgrading the Adrestia if we decide to do that. So there we go. It looks like that's everything. I don't see any more information to be gleaned from this area. I do see one more guard. You know what? Let's take him down. Oh, oops. That was supposed to be like a running assassination. We got him in the end there, though, and that's what counts. That's what counts. So we've got this one area done. I guess inside of the blessing is complete, so we can head back out of here. And the next one we need to head to is going to be way over here. So once I get outside, I'll probably fast travel here, run to the edge, we'll find a boat or something, we'll sail on over and continue our adventure. So I decided to not fast travel, I decided to just take the boat, and it was a pretty quick journey, a nice, refreshing journey along the shark-free waters of Atlantis. I haven't actually seen any sharks out here, so it's been pretty good so far. Something I wanted to talk about, because they talk about it a lot in the game, is this idea of copying your consciousness into a computer, basically, right? Like, they call it consciousness upload, backup, storage, whatever you might refer to it as. I think it's slightly misnamed, because I don't think that you can back up your consciousness. When you really think about it, you cannot... I mean, you'd have to take the whole brain, wouldn't you? You can't just... I mean, how does it work? Do you copy the neurons? Well, that's not really you then, is it? It's just a copy of the neurons. It's a version of you, certainly. And that version of you, if it thinks the same as you and acts the same as you and has all the same memories, might believe itself to be you, but the real you, the original you, is still inside your brain, and it's going to cease to exist when you die, and the copy isn't really you. So how does that work? You know what I mean? Like, how does any of that actually play? And they talk about it a lot in this game, like, oh, I was denied consciousness preservation, I think is what they actually call it, or I was granted consciousness preservation, or this is my preserved consciousness. But I just don't see how that actually works when you think about how the human brain functions. If someone was like, hey, we can back you up in a hard drive, it's like, that's exactly it. It's just a copy. In the same way that you can't really back up data. Think about it. When you transfer data from one place to another, you're just flipping bits on one drive to match the bits on the other. The original isn't moving. You know, the original exists wherever it was first created. And then when you copy it and you write over the original ceases to exist. And you can say, oh, it's the same file. It's a copy of all the data. It's perfectly intact. But it's not, because it's not the same. It's a copy. If I record a video to a hard drive, right? It's let's say it's a splitting platter. It's flipping those bits. You know, some are positives, some are negatives, ones and zeros. Oh, did I do it? I completed knowledge sequence 3. Oh, how about that? Additional ISU access granted. Wisdom of the Ancients completed. Cool. We're so close to level 75. That's exciting. I got to 74 between recordings. If I record to a hard drive, it flips the bits, and that's the original data. That's the original file. Now, if I copy that to another one, it looks at those bits, it writes them the same way, it mimics what it is in the original drive, but it doesn't actually take that file and move it. You know, it's not like moving a book from one bookcase to the other. It just duplicates it. The original can never exist anywhere other than where it was made, on that drive. And you can make an exact replica of the original, but it's not the original. I've been thinking about this, right? Because it's an idea that's intrigued me, right? Like storing your consciousness in a computer. If you could create a complex enough computer system that could perfectly mimic your brain, is it actually the same? Also, was there one of these in the other one and we didn't destroy it? Does that even... Yeah, it doesn't contribute to completion. I do try to destroy them always, although I don't know what, you know, what abilities it grants you or what benefits it grants you. I know if there's guys standing around it, it will damage them when you destroy it. But, you know, to what end? There was none standing around it. We've just kind of blown it up for the fun of it. Maybe there's another quest involving that. But yeah, I mean, when you really think about it, unless you take the brain out of the body, which is kind of where your consciousness exists, you can't... that is moving. That's the same as moving the hard drive, right? Like, I can take the hard drive out of the computer, plug it into another computer, file's still there, it's the original file. Take the brain out of the head and put it into a system. But even then, I mean, the brain is going to deteriorate over time unless you pickle your own brain and somehow it continues to operate. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What if you get a virus? What if your preserved duplication of your brain that exists inside of a computer gets a... Oh, what if it gets like a ransomware virus? You're like existing and then all of a sudden some of your memories just kind of go away and you're like, wait, what? Hold on, let me access this memory I had of my 14th birthday. And there's just like a pop-up inside your own head and it's, hey, do you want this memory of your 14th birthday? Better send us $1 billion. No. And then what? Do you just have a backup of your brain? Do you have a backup of your backed up consciousness? And is that a different you again? It's like, oh, well, I'll just go activate the other part of me. Oh, but then this part of me will cease to exist. And the other part of your brain will be like, well, no, I am Rees, right? I am Rees. But it's not. The original Rees is dead. Rees 2 was just a copy of my mind. And then Rees 3 was just a backup, but it's still not really me. Oh, there's so many different layers to this. There's so many different levels. I don't like it. I found another one of these little things, though. I'm worried I'm missing these. I know someone online found all these codexes and wrote down all the information, because there's no database in this game like you had in previous games, and there really should be, to like store all this information so you can reference back to it. So here we go. Report from Genetic Special Splicing Facility. Test subjects fail to metabolize genetic modifiers through nutrients. Okay, so that was on cycle 52, day 31, I think is how the system works, I assume. I think cycle is like year, so it's 52, year 52, 0.031. That's the 31st day? Maybe? So on day... So 52-154, test subjects lost rehabilitation and replacement to proceed... Wait. Lost rehabilitation and replacement to proceed. Test subjects responding well to certain DNA combinations. Test subjects hostile. Security systems compromised. One subject missing. Genetic splicing facility terminated on orders of Decastes. Basilius. I'm sure I'm saying all these names wrong. All records to be destroyed. So they were doing some kind of gene splicing experiments. Now we know already that the Cyclops, the Minotaur, Medusa, the fourth one I can't remember, all the creatures that we've had to fight in this game exist because of ISU experimentation on humans. So they made the humans and they started doing experiments on them, and they created the Minotaur and the big one-eyed Cyclops and all of that. So that's where those come from. That's where they originated. I'm assuming there's another one here, because there's a lot of information about a gene splicing experiment gone wrong, and I've yet to find it. Hopefully we'll find it together. Maybe it will be in the next one of these up at the top. Maybe it'll be over where we will eventually... I'm going to take a different boat. I'm going to leave that one here. Maybe it will be wherever we eventually find the forge that we were reading about earlier. But for right now, we're going to sail north. I'm going to pause, and we'll resume shortly. I must say, of the 3 realms that we've explored, we went to Elysium, the Underworld, now we're in Atlantis. This one is my favorite. Elysium was pretty, but it was a bit difficult to explore, and it wasn't really all that interesting. It wasn't anything different from what we've seen before. The Underworld was just depressing and barren. This world, though, has been really interesting to look at. I've quite enjoyed exploring it. I like the tiered structure, you know, where you have sort of not just 3 different rings, but sort of 3 different levels you can travel up and down between, and it's all very fascinating. And it all kind of leads me to believe that, you know, my desire for an Assassin's Creed game taking place fully in the past with the Isu and the humans existing pre-devastation, I really, really want that. I think it would work really well if it was like this, where you were exploring environments like this sort of pre-human, prehistoric, yet advanced sort of places. Like, this looks like it's inspired by the construction sensibilities of the Greeks, but it's got this sort of advanced technology, like living robot men and things, and you know, I find that very interesting, and I think the world is very, very interesting to explore, and I think that I would like to see sort of more of it in a full game, where it was just all ISU all the time. I think that'd be really cool. Is this guy next level? Can I take him out with 1 assassination? The world may never know. I know, of course, this is not what we're getting in the next Assassin's Creed game. The next Assassin's Creed game is going to be Vikings. This is not going to kill him. I wish I'd noticed that sooner. We're going to have to kill him before he lets everybody know I'm here. Did that work? Okay, good. No one's panicking. We're going to have to hope no one finds his body. Alright, let's be quick about this. I was actually reading, and this was a pretty recent post as well. I was doing some research into just some questions I had about something I'd read. So I was on an Assassin's Creed sort of fan site, and I was scrolling around and reading and researching up on stuff. And specifically, I was looking up how the ISU mind backup process work. Unfortunately, no one knows. It's wasting my time there. No one really knows. But one of the things I found was someone complaining, like, this is not the Assassin's Creed game I want. I hate these big, open, barren worlds. I want the Assassin's Creed game to be more like it was when it was just one big city, and that's what I want. And I hated that, you know? I mean, I don't hate it, but Syndicate was that, and Unity was that, and it just wasn't very interesting. Origins, I liked the game and the gameplay and the story, but the world was very barren. It was very empty. I think they did a much, much better job here with Odyssey of making a world that is big, but also it's fairly dense. There's a lot to do. I've not run out of things to do. I think that this world in particular, Atlantis, sort of the 3 realms we've been to, does it the best, where it does feel pretty big, but it is pretty dense, and there's a lot going on, and I've enjoyed exploring it. And I think if it was a world sort of maybe even half the size of the main world, but as dense, you know, I think there needs to be a balance, because exploring one city isn't fun. It's not interesting. The whole thing looks the same. It's very samey. Let's read about this one. Unusual electromagnetic activity detected on the sun's photosphere. We know where that's going. Sudden appearance of small dark spots scattered across the sun's surface. We know where that's going. Sunspots have increased, so this is over the course of now 2 years. Sunspots have increased in size and are gravitating towards each other. Sunspot trajectory projectile indicate imminent cluster formation. Proximity of magnetically charged sunspot will result in coronal loops, reconnection events, and plasma release to occur within the next 300 to 500 cycles. Oof. Now, these things aren't unheard of. We've seen spots on our sun before. It occurs. Please don't look at the sun with your bare eye and try to find spots. Don't do that. But we've seen them. Coronal loops, we've seen those. They kind of like, psh, and they loop back in. They like shoot off into space, and then the sun's gravity pulls them back down, so they create these cool loops. Nothing to worry about there. This, though, the mini spots coming together and causing all of this. If this were to happen, actually, and shoot off in a direction not facing Earth, I think would be okay. It's just, in the story of this game, it's the 1 in a billion of all of these things happening, and happening in such a way that the force of it is directed straight at Earth. And then it happens again in the year 2020, but 2012, and Desmond Miles sacrifices himself to save us all. If you ever replay the end of that game, I played it on the Switch recently. At the end of it, you do hear a radio broadcast where they're like, yeah, things are going weird. We got some landslides, we got some radio interference, you got some electrical going out, like low-level EMP. And then Desmond Miles does his thing and saves the world. I still don't know how. The ISU had some sort of device that, after killing a person, would protect the planet, and they couldn't get it done until after the catastrophe had already happened, so they were able to figure all this out and at least save future generations from a similar dystopian outcome, I should say. It was weird, I'm not sure. Maybe it was explained in the game if I paid more attention. But, yeah. What I'm saying is, don't go to bed tonight worrying about something like that happen. And understand that if you are worried about the world being destroyed by the sun, there's nothing we can do about it. So, why waste your time worrying? Why waste your time worrying about the sun destroying the planet when you have no power to stop it? Worry more about a massive meteorite smacking into Earth, because there's things we can do about that. Quest completed. A complete education. Excellent. Check your inventory menu. Something, something. Kronos' punishment. The ability enhancement is now in the abilities menu. Level 75. They're throwing so much at me right now. What is Kronos' punishment? Let's go ahead and take a look at our abilities and find out. So which one is that going to be on? Here? Yes, right here. A sudden shocking blast stuns surrounding enemies within 7 meters and deals... Okay, so that's the normal preview. Use the Wrath of Ares to smash your spear into the ground, slowing all enemies in a 5-meter radius. After 14 seconds, slowed enemies are dealt 150% warrior damage and 50% more damage for each additional enemy inside. That's pretty cool. We're not going to use it. It's not really my style, but that is pretty cool. Also, hold on. I think I found the other one that we couldn't find earlier. Right here. Blessing of Kronos. It lands you in ISU powers. Lends you ISU powers for 15 seconds. Receive 50% more adrenaline when dealing damage. During that time, you are immune to ISU, adrenaline drain, and freeze effects. Again, really cool if we were doing like arm, hand-to-hand, sword-to-sword kind of physical combat. It's not really how I play the game. Like, this is how I play the game. Like that. That's my preferred style. It's not how I used to play. If you've been watching this from the beginning, you'll know that we had a very different style. But we're having a good time with the assassin style. I think this is the last thing we gotta do here. Yeah. We're playing Assassin's Creed as assassins now, and thoroughly enjoying ourselves. Now maybe we'll get some gold out of this guy. You can see what I mean here when we slaughter him. Yeah, 3 grand, some obsidian, some precious gems, some iron metal. So it's definitely worth killing those guys. I was avoiding it in the past because I couldn't quite kill them off with just a single attack. More often than not, it would deal a lot of damage, and then I'd have to physically smash them with my sword. But now that we're here and we're back in our assassin armor, we can be stealthy and kill everyone, and it's a really good time. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Alright, so that's finished. Insight of the Titan is now complete, and we can head out. Oof, man, I am glad I did not live in this alternate reality where there was an advanced civilization of Isu, and they found out their world was about to be destroyed by the sun, and there was nothing they could do about it. That is just a depressing reality. And, you know, they did their best. They teamed up. They, you know, they tried to find solutions, and it failed. It's real sad. Okay, map. Here we go. What are we going to go do next? We've got our knowledge sequence fully maxed out now. I guess we should check our quests and see what's going on there. Fire amid the water. Craft the legendary weapon at the Forge of Atlantis. It's in the south of the Royal Mountain of Poseidon. So, this is sort of the original quest that we were given when we started all of this by Poseidon himself, and we've not touched it yet. But I'm kind of feeling like I want to go, presumably right here to undiscovered location with the giant marker on it, and I think that's what I want to go do. I want to go check out this forge and see what kind of weapons can be made with adamantium. Is that adamant? Is that what Wolverine's claws are made out of? I want to make some Addy arm. I want to make an Addy kite shield. And then we'll go see what we can get at the Grand Exchange. Oh yes, this is very well hidden here. It's clearly nothing special inside of this gaping hole here with the big pillars and the massive eternally burning fires. Nothing suspicious here, people. Nobody think twice about it. Welcome to the Forge of Atlantis. There are 3 marks on the map. Do we need to be cautious? Are there guards here? I mean, there were guards in the last few places we went that looked similar to this. They all kind of had a similar layout. Oh, do you reckon this is where some of those experiments they were talking about were? I doubt it, because this seems like the kind of place Poseidon would know about. And I don't think Poseidon would allow human experiments to be here. There are 3 quest markers, and it looks like the actual forge is down there. Oh, there's an actual man, too. But this is the quest. Craft a legendary weapon at the Forge of Atlantis. The world sometimes puts these weird lines in here. I think it's because we're in a simulation. I'm not entirely sure. It's not a graphical glitch, though, I assure you. By the way, playing the game at actual 60 FPS. So glad I finally accepted the fact that the RTX 2080 Ti is not all-powerful and just lowered the settings. It's beautiful. The Isu kept the models for Hephaestus' last great weapon deep in Atlantis. Collect enough adamant ingots, interact with the mold, forge your weapon for a hunter, warrior, or assassin playstyle. Each weapon can only be crafted once, so choose wisely. Oh dear. Okay, well, how do I know which is which? Which one are you? Wait, I don't know which one this is. Wait, hold on. Okay, warrior weapon, assassin weapon, hunter weapon, exit. Why are there 3 different pillars? Do I need to make one in each? Let's take a look at the different molds we got here. So this looks like a staff. This one looks like a little sword, maybe? Like a wee little dagger. And this looks like a great big spear. I don't know which one to craft. I'm gonna say little spear? I'm gonna do a save. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out of this, I'm gonna save, and then if I do the wrong thing, it won't matter. Exit. Exit. Let's create a save, Kassandra. Okay, so I did a save in case we mess this up real bad. We're gonna make the assassin weapon. Oh, they're in a different order here, aren't they? Weren't they in a different order on the last one? Maybe that's because this is more geared toward being a warrior weapon. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I shouldn't have hit that button. So it's warrior, assassin, hunter. What if we go to the one in the middle? What is the order? Warrior, assassin, hunter. This one is probably going to be the same, and I'm wrong. Okay. Warrior, assassin, hunter. Alright, yeah, I was wrong. Maybe we can craft all 3 of these, and we can just... Well, I don't know, team. I don't know what to do here. I don't want to Shrek this up. Alright, you know what? Let's go for the assassin weapon. Let's do it. Because that's my primary playstyle these days. We kind of started off, our primary playstyle was hunter. But, okay, just kind of lightly throw those on there. What is this? Isu Forged Assassin Blade. Oh, apparently we can make the other 2 weapons as well. Reduces all cooldowns by 10% on assassin ability kill. Oh boy. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Let's see. So if we go to our inventory, I'm assuming that it's going to be under sort of daggers maybe? Isu Forged Assassin Blade. Does some serious damage. Plus 21 assassin's damage. Damage with daggers. Reduces all cooldowns by 10%. Equip that bad boy. Look at that. We can go get it engraved as well if we want to. And I don't know what the engraving is going to do, but look at it right here, man. Okay. I'm tempted to get them all done as Assassin's Blades. Because I don't use any other layout. Unless we have like a super boss battle coming up. I mean, it would make sense if this was a bow to get it as a hunter weapon. I'm gonna get all of them as assassin's weapons. Truck it. They're all going to be assassin's weapons. I've made my call. I'm not gonna change it now. I'm staying firm. Standing firm on the word of God. Owana stands. I can't remember the rest of the song. I cannot. Hail Awana's on the march for truth. I don't. Look, it's been over a decade since I was in Awana, okay? Give me a break. I bet I could ask my nieces. I've got one niece and, I think I got 2 nieces in TNT and 1 in nephew in Sparky's, so they would know. See, yeah, make the assassin weapon. Just make them all assassin's weapons. We're using up all of our adamantium. We're gonna complete this quest. There's no going back, I guess. They said it was permanent. I'm glad that the ancient Isu knew that there was only 3 play styles in this game. They didn't create something like the thieves weapon or anything like that. Thank goodness. So we got the assassin's spear and the assassin's mace. I've never really fought with a spear. I don't know, it could be a fun time. We completed that quest as well, so that's fun. We've got new engravings unlocked. Should we go talk to this guy down here? Do you reckon he can do us some sick engravings? I'm interested. I kind of want to look at these weapons, though, before we go down there and do that. So let's see what else we've got. We can equip, like, another weapon over here. So we've got the Assassin Forged Mace. Assassin's damage applies to nearby enemies. Colossal is an understatement. Using untold Atlantean technology, this mace disrupts anything it hits, rupturing the bonds between the very atoms of its target. Sounds fun. Sounds very fun. We've got 2 of these. I don't think either of them is the one we just made. Here it is, spears. Okay. Forged from adamant, perfectly balanced, thirsting for blood. The edge of this spear is coated with a monomolecular technology to chew through weapons and armor alike. That's fun. Convert 50% assassin's damage bonus to all damage. Ooh, very fun. Maybe we'll throw that one in our offhand. Well, actually, no. I kind of want to use a no, we'll keep the spear. We'll use the spear. I can cycle between those 2. That's arrows. I can cycle between these 2. Pretty quick and easy. Yeah. So can I change these, though? Can I alter them? No. No, we just have these like this forever. And there's no going back now, boyos. Oh, no. This is just the way of things. Maybe I should create a separate save. I won't. I'm not going to. Let's go get these engraved. My dude, what are you doing down here? Why are you down here all by yourself? Don't you know how suspect that is? Who are you? Oh, he's just a regular old blacksmith. All right, no story or anything. Let's do an engraving. And so on the daggers, what can you give us? What's special? Rush, assassinate ability change to 1 more enemy. Hey! No. I mean, I do like that one. That was why we had the other weapon for so long anyway. Reduces all cooldowns. Restores health on parry. Rapid fire. Restore health. Oh, health restored on... No, 1% health restored on headshots. Damage with Fury of the Bloodline ability. There's actually a ton. 100% damage with torches. Oh, protect 50% max health on Tartarus. We're not doing that anymore. That's not a thing anymore. Damage per energy... or per enemy engaged. There is a crap ton of different abilities we can apply to this. Look at this. This is insane. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going. We can do whatever we want to. 50% special arrows not consumed. Armor penetration. Underwater. I saw that. I saw that breathe underwater. All plus 10% to all adrenaline gained. That one is tempting. But we know what we have to do. And it's not even a matter of... It's not even up for debate. Rust assassination ability changed to one more enemy. I don't know if we already have this on a different piece of armor. I know we had it in another weapon that we were using. And we're not using that weapon anymore. Should we go ahead and just get all of these? Should we just... Should we have them all have the rush assassinate ability changed to one more enemy, just in case we don't have one of them in particular? You know what? Let's not do these other two. We won't worry about it. What we will go ahead and do is we'll go over to upgrade, because I talked about when we get to 75 we'd upgrade our armor. So let's get our pirate hood upgraded, because I don't think we've gotten anything else that really compares to what we're wearing right now, at least. I mean, some of this armor is pretty good. Ranged resistance, fire damage, damage with swords, crit damage, assassin's damage. The big thing here, though, 50% damage with assassin abilities. That's why the pirate set is king. And when we upgrade it, it'll be right up there. It'll be able to defend us. Like, the armor rating increases and everything. It's still really good armor, and we're gonna keep using it. I've just got to go through here and find all the individual elements, and we'll get those upgraded. And then once we get those upgraded, we got to take a look at the map again. We got to figure out what comes next. So they shouldn't be this far down. I think I've gone too far. Got some bracelets, gauntlets, pilgrim's gloves. Where the heck is the pirate? Did I already get the arms? I must have already gotten the arms. I'm losing track now. So this is the armor we get as part of a quest here. Basically, I just killed a bunch of really tough guys and I got the armor. And it's sort of like, you know, we get an armor set in each realm. I don't particularly care about it. I don't even remember where it's gone to. Where is it? Right here. Oh, these are cool. So this is actually like Isu armor. Nito Torpedo. Decastis' breastplate. Become ISO enhanced for 15 seconds if you're wearing the whole set. That's pretty neato. Don't really need it. I kind of prefer... I prefer to be a stealthy pirate assassin. And that's what I'm going to be focusing all my abilities on. Just selling some stuff off here too, because what are we ever going to do with all of this stuff? We're going to stockpile on money is what we're going to do. Let's see if we can get that up to 600,000, and then we'll call it there, because I might want to break the rest of this stuff down for parts. Because, like, look, if you dismantle this stuff, I mean, it's not going to tell us what we get, because... Oh, there it goes. Yeah, we have to wait for all the money to come through. But yeah, you get, like, some pretty good materials for this, which will be handy when we eventually go to upgrade the address here, which we can't do in this realm. But, you know, it's a bit of a balancing act. Oh, you know what? I forgot to upgrade. While I'm here, I need to go ahead and upgrade my bow. And we probably picked up a better bow along the way, but I sold all of them, so I broke them down. We'll just keep upgrading the fanged bow. We'll keep poisoning people. Because it's been pretty effective sometimes. It's nice to get someone down real low and then just kind of wander off and leave them to their own devices, to their own demises even. So if we take a look at the map again, we'll see that we have successfully, we've got hide completed enabled. Looks like we've 100%ed the region. You'll see things like this Dome of Atlas. This is more of a location marker. Same with the Garden of Kimopolia. Usually if there's something to do there, when you hover over it, it'll tell you, like, oh, there's a couple of chests here or something that you haven't completed. But it's all completed. There's nothing on here. I don't see any question marks. I don't see any other form of location markers. So the map is complete. Now we can sit down and work on the quests. So we've got the Fate of Atlantis. So these are the quests over here. The Burden of Leadership quests that we were told to do by Poseidon. So I guess we'll pick those up next time. But then there's also a few quests, mostly Adamantly, Lighten Up, and what is this one? In Dreams, that we haven't done that we'll need to pick up soon before we head out of here. So we might get all those wrapped up next time. But hey, until next time, thank you folks for continuing to watch and support the channel in the year 2020. I really appreciate it. If Assassin's Creed's not your thing, there will be other content. Whoa, it's blue! There will be other content coming up here in the future. But really wanted to get this finished and kind of focus more on one and two games at the most at a time, and not be so scattered all over the place, and, you know, actually focus on completing things and just having fun, having a good time. So I hope that you folks are having fun and having a good time. Until next time, thank you all for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Bye!